Hi, my name is Sebastian Schrier. I'm an ex-social anxiety disorder sufferer, social confidence coach, and the host of a podcast show called Social Anxiety Solutions. And on there, I interview psychologists, scientists, healers, psychotherapists for their best social anxiety solutions. And on this video, I'm quickly going to answer a question that was sent to me. And the question, or rather, it's a comment under a video, is, "Hey Sebastian, I like a lot of videos and I've done some of the exercises. How about making some videos about generalized anxiety?" Alright, so for one, that's not my expertise. I specialize in social anxiety. However, a lot of clients that come to me, their social anxiety is generalized, and often they're dealing not just with social anxiety. They also have anxiety coming up in situations not related to social anxiety itself. So think about, you know, fear of the future. Think about a feeling of impending doom. Think about, worrying about things going wrong all the time, feeling out of control, not feeling safe in the world, worrying about things on the news. It's that kind of stuff. Well, what social anxiety or what comes down to, is that you don't feel safe to be yourself in a social situation. Your brain somehow perceives danger when you are around other people. It's not safe to be yourself, and that's because of stuff that happened in the past, from which you formed these beliefs, these filters through which you now perceive yourself and the world and your place in it. And because that perception, because you filter the world in such a way that your brain perceives there to be danger, it activates its built-in response to danger, the fight, flight, freeze response. Your body gets flooded with hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, and your body is put in survival mode, so that you can fight off the danger if you could fight it, and if not, you can run and escape. And if none of these happens, you freeze, right? So that's what anxiety is. Your mind blanks out and all of that, which is the result of the fight, flight, freeze response being activated because there's a perception of danger. So the perception of danger is really the problem. And that is the same with generalized anxiety. Speaking from my limited experience, okay, I just want to point that out again. The only difference is because it's anxiety. So anxiety shows up, but it might not just be with people. It's now also with other situations where you don't feel safe. So it's the same thing. It's just that the beliefs are different. So whereas a socially anxious person might have the belief, there's something wrong with me, a person with generalized anxiety disorder might have a belief, there's something wrong with the world. And let me see if I can think of another one. When a person with social anxiety might have a belief, people are out to get me, that's a belief that a person with generalized anxiety disorder might have as well. So the beliefs are similar, yet a person with generalized anxiety disorder feels more unsafe in the world, and a person with social anxiety feels more unsafe within relationships. And how you address generalized anxiety disorder is pretty much the same. Okay, so you learned somewhere that you're not safe in the world, or that the world is a dangerous place. That's another very common belief for someone with GAD. You picked it up somewhere. So maybe you picked it up from your parents. Maybe you saw your parents always overly cautious, always worrying about things. Oh, be careful. And you saw them tentative, and it might even be inherited stuff. Maybe your parents grew up in the Holocaust, and that's just passed through in your genes. Actually, science now shows, which is also pretty new to me, I did not know that, that it's passed on. That trauma can be passed on through your genes. So those beliefs that the world is not safe may have been passed on from generations before you. Whatever it is, doesn't really matter, because you can actually clear it. So these beliefs that you have that are causing that perception of danger, whether that's for social anxiety or for generalized anxiety disorder, these beliefs are learned. They're in your brain, and they're operating. They're running your system, if you will. And what you can do is you can apply tapping or other energy psychology techniques to actually clear that, to shift that around, to get rid of these negative beliefs. How to do that is it's a longer story than this video, permits, because this is only just a couple of minutes. But what it comes down to is you can find why you're having these beliefs, and you can get rid of them. And once that perception of danger is no longer there, yeah, that generalized anxiety will go. However, usually that is something that will take a bit of persistence because you've had it for a long period of time. While you can make a massive shift in just one session, typically you will need to do a bit more work to get rid of the remaining bits. But it's worth it. So, Rui, Pedro, thank you very much for your question. Hope this answers this. Hope this answers it for you. And as you're watching this video, Rui or someone else, check out the podcast. We have more and more amazing interviews on there with therapists, psychologists, scientists, God knows what. People that really know what they're doing, and they share amazing stories of transformation, incredible techniques, things you might have not thought of, mindsets to take this healing journey to overcoming your social anxiety, so that you too can get to a place where you feel comfortable and relaxed with yourself, and you can actually interact with people from a place of joy, being in the moment, feeling present, and just having a good time. So I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to connecting with you next week again. Bye.